Hello, subscribers, and welcome to the Naruhina podcast. Here we are to celebrate the good old-fashioned Naruhina fanbase and our glorious battle into the pairing wars. Nah, I'm just kidding. Welcome to the NaruSaku podcast, and me here bring you three brand new, well, not three brand new people, but two brand new people who have never been on the podcast before. Blimey, I'm excited. Anyway. Let's let these buggers introduce themselves.
Well, first of all, let's introduce the old timer, Shadow Wolf.
Hi, Shadow.
Nice to be here again. Nice to to be able to share discussions, and well, hope you enjoy it.
Well, I'm Brandon from the Heaven and Earth forums. It's just Brandon. Nice being on the podcast. Hope have a nice 2 hours or however long we go.
Good to have you here.
And I'm new as well. My name is VTamer Taichi. I'm a member of the H&E forums as well. I've been a member since 2012 in July, but I don't really post much because I'm way too busy. But I still lurk there from time to time and pitch in a couple of posts here and there. But it's good to be on the podcast. I was very interested from last week's podcast, so definitely wanted to put my 2 cents in the latest chapters.
You're way too busy? How dare you, good sir? You're supposed to eat, breathe, and sleep NaruSaku here.
That is what the definition of a fanatic is, sir.
We're supposed to be fanatics.
I'm not a fanatic. But
We're supposed to be fanatics. You want to let those Naruhina fans beat you? They'll start training.
The good way to beat a Naruhina fan is to ignore them.
Start the right way with NaruSaku. Anyway, Brandon, VTamer, glad to have you on the show.
It's good to be here.
Before we begin, I'm going to ask you two a question that I ask all the new members, and how did you get started into the NaruSaku fan base?
Well, you want me to start first, or what?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, Naruto was one of my first 2 animes. I got like a DVD set of Dragon Ball from like a friend, and that's how I initially got into it. And then I saw like a kind of like a similar type of show called Naruto, so I initially got into that. And I was primarily just a TV viewer, watched the crappy American or English dub of it on I forget what channel it was, but I followed that and I really liked it. And I honestly never actually knew that I was a NaruSaku fan until I was introduced to other pairings. So I'm not sure when it happened. I guess I probably just was always one until I realized that there were others out there, and then I was like, wait a second, that's not right. So essentially, as soon as I went to YouTube and realized that there are other pairings out there, that's when I realized I had already chosen a side.
Kishigata came down and blessed you with his pairing fan choice.
Yes, and I embraced him.
Hallelujah. Amen. Can I get an amen?
Okay, well, I got introduced into the Naruto series by the MSN. I don't know if any of you guys remember the MSN groups. They used to host mangas like One Piece, Naruto. It was like a private site where you used to go to read the manga before, like the big names like One Manga and Manga Stream, before they existed. There was a place that you used to go to read manga called in the MSN groups. Mm-hmm. And that's how I got introduced to the Naruto series. And the start of the pairing, well, I would say how I got to the NaruSaku pairing is around the time of the Gaara arc. I would say around that. When Naruto, the way he risked his life to protect Sakura-chan, and how he was so pissed off, he wanted to protect his precious person, and how he was just so devoted, because even though Sasuke pushed his words, but the way the panels kept showing Naruto looking back and forth with Sakura and how he wanted to protect her really struck a chord with me. And I was just like, well, this pairing is definitely, I like this pairing. It's a good pairing, even though she bashed him endlessly. And back in part one, I thought it was humorous. It reminded me of back of like series of like Inuyasha and Rama and everything. It's just harking back to those days when I see them two interact. It's great, and that's how I love NaruSaku and how I got introduced to it.
Yeah, what did it remind me of? Remind me of Goku and Chi-Chi.
Yeah, but Goku and Chi-Chi, I mean, that they didn't really
Well,
click.
yeah, but it's the relationship between those two because Chi-Chi is a tsundere. That's the first anime I watched was Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, and then yeah.
I could destroy the universe. I have to put up with this.
Yeah, but it's another thing. People usually always throw that the Dragon Ball Z argument, how the Goku and Chi-Chi and everything. I don't know why.
There really was like a really forced relationship between them because he literally confused marriage with food, so that's one hell of a misunderstanding.
Yeah, back in the Dragon Ball days, yeah, that was funny. Oh man.
All right, well, interesting. So we're on chapter 632, and in this chapter we finally found out what Sakura's power is, and guess what? Exactly like Tsunade's.
Well,
Yes.
not yet. There was some discussion saying it had something to do with like the power of the white or something like that. So the name of it is supposedly different from Tsunade's, but we don't know enough about it yet.
Well, they actually said that it's actually translated as Byakugo, but it's referenced as a seal instead of a technique like previous. That's what I've been seeing it now because that's what it was referenced. Like before, people used to call it the Hyakugo because that's the way it was translated in the stream and the Panda versions. But some of the forum posters and the in H&E forums, some of the Japanese persons like the raw and everything, they check the raws and is actually translated as Byakugo and not Hyakugo or anything like that. So.
Hmm. Something I found really interesting about the power is, like, as soon as it was kicked in, like, was she, like, using chakra from it? Is she, like, slowly deteriorating from the amount of chakra she's stored there by simply using it? Because as we've seen, like, as soon as the thing forms, she just becomes immensely more powerful in both strength and speed. So is it something that she doesn't release, or like, well, obviously she does release it, but is it something that she doesn't need to release to use its power? Is that what's going on here, or what do you think?
Well, I mean, it looks like when she got the seal marked on her forehead, like she got an enhance, like a boost, but it hasn't like somebody been saying like she only been using partial of her chakra for 3 years. So now that she actually accumulated to 100%, she's back to her, that's how we say, her normal state. How we'll say that's her normal state before she decided to portion off that. Like how like Goku with the gravity boots, you can use that as an example when he was training on the planet Kaioken or whatever.
That may be true, but like if that were the case, in emergencies, like when I can't. I guess in the Konoha invasion arc when Pain or Nagato was invading Konoha, and back when she was fighting against Sasuke in like the first reunion. Well, she wasn't necessarily fighting against Sasuke, and also when she was up against Orochimaru. Well, again,
she
all
didn't
these.
get in no fights though. See, the only fight she actually ever been in was Sasori.
Yeah, but if she
throughout the entire manga, she'd never really been in a fight. After the Sasori fight, she was never in any fights at all. You haven't seen her in a fight.
We never really seen strength as powerful as this before, which is why I'm beginning to question, like, I don't really think it's something that she's just been holding back on, because if that were true, then she should be able to unleash her full strength temporarily at least, and, like, hold back on, like, trying to form a seal for, like, a day, and she should be able to release her full strength then,
Well, see,
and then we
all
should have
this
been able to see
speculation,
it.
though. Yeah, I can understand what you're saying, but like, it's all just speculation because it's not outright stated. We have to wait till the next few chapters to see if she'll actually mention or if it'll flash back again. Because I'm just looking at it as I see it. Like she's been holding back because as that's what it says. I mean, you pretty much just looking at it how it's presented to us. Like it looks like well she held back throughout all the 3 years. She's been holding back. She's been holding back a percentage of her chakra, so she can form that seal. So her strength, isn't her strength wasn't 100%. So like people have been bashing the fight with Sasori. Oh, she has poor Sasori. Sakura whooped him without 100% of her strength. So I mean that's how it is. That's how I'm looking at it until more information comes up. I can't. We can speculate all we want,
Yeah.
but
That more information thing is actually something I'm going to mention later. But James, what do you think about this?
Well, we did have the part where she says that she's not using the power to make herself look young, so she may be using that extra chakra to refunnel it back into her strength, which
Well,
is
I
also
mean,
a possibility.
Point. Good
we
point.
also don't know how much chakra it takes just to maintain appearances. Like we always assume, like the transformation jutsu is just you use a little bit of chakra now and you just kind of stay that way until you release it. But I don't know.
The way Sakura talks about it and describes it, I'm thinking that keeping yourself youthful like that is going to take a considerable amount of chakra to do.
Well, keeping yourself youthful or keeping yourself looking youthful.
Keeping yourself looking youthful.
Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't.
Yeah,
I don't know. I would kind of think that if Tsunade could be that huge a gap in power between what Sakura was showing before and now she's basically just splitting the entire battlefield in a single kick. Well, if that's the amount of power it takes to maintain youth, then I would question Tsunade at that point. Like, why would she be focusing that much power on just keeping herself youthful?
It probably has to go in with the creation rebirth technique.
Well, is it like a transformation jutsu like the one Naruto uses, or is it like literally like maintaining your body so that that's what it actually looks like as opposed to a jutsu that's kind of an illusion?
I don't think it's an illusion. I think she's actually using the chakra to reverse the time. I mean, it's not going to make her live longer, but it makes her body.
I may have thought that, but then like at the end of the after her fight with Pain, well, kind of half kind of half of a fight really, but after that she basically like passed out and you could see her like the effects of the jutsu were kind of wearing off. She was looking like she was getting older right there. So I assumed like maybe it just takes chakra to maintain the illusion and she's just been using that illusion, but I don't know.
Nah. Just think of it this way. You gotta keep in mind that when a person gets old, you can say that the process of the cell regeneration gets slower. And I have also heard apparently about cell destruction, but I'm not too sure of that. My theory is that Tsunade uses chakra to keep that cell regeneration constant, to say it like that, and that way she can look young. What happens? Well, after the fight with Pain, you could say that not only she falls into a coma, but she completely runs out of chakra. So she can't keep accelerating the regenerative process.
Well, I would understand like maybe if that happened over the course of like a couple of weeks or a couple of months, but that was kind of an instant thing there. Like as soon as she was exhausted, then you immediately notice she just visibly just turns back into what you would assume she would look if she didn't have any form of appearance changing jutsu whatsoever.
Because again, she runs out of chakra. She cannot. The chakra is not flowing in her body, and thus the the acceleration process, to say it like that, is stopped altogether.
But it should happen a lot slower than that. What happened to her was moreover like immediate. Like you immediately notice that she basically is just changing immediately. I don't think just like having that stop would immediately cause that. I mean, it might. I mean, we don't know enough information about that, and that's what causes a lot of these discussions where you end up at an impasse, is because you simply don't know enough information.
And we also got to keep in mind that mangas in general are very gratuitous when it comes to time. So
Mhm.
what could be 5 minutes could be 10 minutes or even less, or you know.
Mhm.
So you don't really know how long. I mean, yeah, it looks like seconds on the paper, but it could have been like over the course of like 5 minutes even.
Or a week. I mean, like
No, it wasn't, because Sakura was just sitting right there next to where the fight between Naruto and Pain was going, or Nagato, I should say. So it wasn't weeks.
oh no, I ain't talk, I know that wasn't weak. I was talking about like how he was mentioning the essence of time in the manga. That's what I was talking about. I was
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. But to funnel into this, we have to keep in mind that the real life phenomenon of the Hayflick limit, which do any of you know what that is? The Hayflick limit?
No.
It's
I
the
think
scientific phenomena that cells can only divide in a finite enough times in one lifespan.
hmm.
And this,
So by rapidly regenerating, you essentially limit your own lifespan.
Yeah,
yes,
that's funny. So that's what the hate flick. Because I was thinking about that. Because like when they showed that panel of her hand all wrinkly, and then you look at Jiraiya and he don't have they. I'm sure Tsunade and Jiraiya are about the same age, or at least
Yeah,
same.
they were both
Her
on the
hand was
same
really
team.
wrinkly compared to Jiraiya and stuff. And just like John James just brought up, her lifespan has been short. So she's probably really old when her skin really turned wrinkly. So I'm pretty sure her age has regressed like a lot of years by now. So
well, actually, what I'm
well,
talking about is like she uses the chakra. You know how she is this medical ninjutsu, and she can repair cells. She can speed up the healing process of cells, so she can like heal wounds, not
mhm,
only on herself but on other people.
mhm,
Now, imagine using this technique to funnel all that chakra back to your cells to rejuvenate them, not to disturb the Hayflick limit because you can't. You can't give yourself infinite life force by, increasing how many cell divisions that you can have in the limit of your lifetime, but you can
mhm,
actually rejuvenate the cells back to a certain age. So like you can make the cells that are 80 years old look like they're 60 or 50, but they're
mhm,
still 80 years old. You know what I'm saying?
mhm.
So it,
Hmm.
it does it just rejuvenates the cells. It doesn't stop them from aging. It just rejuvenates them back to a certain point.
I guess that would make sense. I mean, chakra can do that stuff.
Okay, so the link I just provided, I want you to take a look at it. This is actually chapter 430, Naruto's Return. And as you can see, this is Tsunade after protecting the whole village. You can see that her appearance has not like changed that much, to say it like that. So to answer your question, yeah, you could say that the process of her tuning, reverting back to her old age, it should be kind of slow because it is not after they finish the fight with Pain that they say that Tsunade has fell into a coma.
Well, I forget when it was exactly, but at some point, like, Tsunade is just completely exhausted, and that's when Sakura is just like right next to her, and
Yeah,
there's like this
it's
scene with Sakura kind of like holding her hand, and that's when you can very clearly see it happens.
Yeah.
that's right when Naruto first lands. That's exactly what happened because Naruto mentions to her to take a break, and then what's what's his name, Gamakachi or whatever, he took him.
Gamakichi.
Gamakichi, he took Tsunade, and then that's when Sakura, that's when you see that scene at right there.
Oh, it's actually just like should be like right next chapter after that, 431.
Yeah, it should be close. But anyway, that's my take. The cell regeneration process, since it stopped accelerating, well, she went back to her old age, say it like that.
Well, what James just said was that it wasn't like accelerating cells, rather rejuvenating them, which would actually make sense if you were to kind of use chakra to allow them to take the appearance, not the appearance, but more than just the appearance, but the actual feel and I don't know the word for it, but essentially it's making yourself actually be a 30-year-old as opposed to just looking like one.
Yeah, rejuvenating the cellular structure.
Yeah.
However, as soon as your chakra flow ran out, like then you're just going back to being like 60 or whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's actually the page you mean. This is actually
like-
chapter 431. It's like the 6th page.
Yeah, it's like drying out prunes in the sun.
Yeah, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But anyway, going back because we took a detour to say it like that.
Well, we explained why Sakura, why that's actually a legitimate power-up, by not having to look young.
Exactly.
We just went to school for a second.
just because you're out of school, kids, doesn't mean you can't learn nothing new.
Anyway, if I can have my 2 cents, I think it's a combination of both. Not only she is back to her 100% power once more because she's not storing chakra anymore, I think she can also use part of the chakra in the seal to actually enhance her performance.
Well, no doubt she has been, like, not always at 100% all the time, because she has been... I mean, she just barely now got this here, so obviously, like, this battle she's been holding back because she's just been really trying to focus all in on that, just hope that she can manage to get the seal to form before the fight is over, because then it'll be too late to use it.
Indeed.
And we also have to count in the variable that she actually does get stronger from the time of the Society fight to now.
Mm-hmm.
In her regular strength, so.
Well, yeah, they always get more powerful over time, and what was it, like, a year, like, is this like a year after the Sasori fight or something like that? Like, how long has it been? I imagine it's been months and months, but I don't know how long exactly.
I'd say anywhere from like 6 months to a year.
Yeah,
That's about what I was imagining.
Well, because when they said when Naruto first came back, he was like what 15, right? And now he's 16. So it has time. So definitely hasn't been a year has passed within the manga. Because didn't he mention didn't he say that to his mom that he's 16, something like that?
I don't remember.
I have to look back at that. But I know that his age has changed. Because I remember when he first reappeared in the manga, what was it, 245? That he was 15. But
Yeah,
I don't remember. I was too busy admiring Kushina. Wow, what a hottie!
I don't know. I always like saw Kushina as too much of a good motherly figure to ever just kind of get those thoughts about. I don't know why.
I don't know, Kushina and Road the Ninja. She is awesome. That's what we got the press. That's what we got more of when Kishimoto made that movie.
Oh.
I'm deviating. We supposed to be talking about 632.
Oh, we can save that part for the second part. Let's mention Road to Ninja later in the second part.
Yeah.
Road to the Road to Ninja.
Any other things?
Welcome to the NaruSaku podcast, where we occasionally talk about the latest chapter.
Hey, I'm the host. He took my job. Oh, you didn't even follow through with that, Shadow? Oh, thanks a lot for being a good friend.
Hey, you took my dog. What can I say?
Took a dog? Okay, now we're really gonna... Alright, we're
Welcome
going on
to the podcast. We occasionally talk about the latest chapters.
Yes.
What if I'm the only one who knows what I'm referencing?
So, what do you guys think about Jugo's thoughts of him thinking to himself, like, what Sasuke's thinking? What's on his mind?
They're not there for no reason.
Yeah. we all kind of knew that something's up with Sasuke. I think this just kind of confirms that something is going to change. Something is different.
Mhm.
It's not
That's
what.
Like it was like we knew from the very start, like it was just too good to be true for him just to be like completely turn around just from like one talk. No, there's something there that just hasn't been solved yet. Otherwise, there'd be like essentially you'd be turning like the Naruto versus Sasuke fight, or even just like I assume what's going to be the final arc after this. You'd basically be turning that into some casual like
A game of
non-important
chess.
arc. And like this is like this is the world is at stake here. There's a lot that could happen here, but like I mean, with what Orochimaru is doing, with like Naruto still needs to bring peace to the world. Like we don't know how many of the Kages are even gonna still be alive. Like we don't know if Tsunade is even gonna make it. So there's definitely a lot of things happening, and this is just confirming. This is kind of like foreshadowing next arc. Sasuke should be a big player in it, at least in
Yeah.
my eyes, anyways. I don't know how you guys think though.
Yeah, as long as the focus doesn't shift to only Sasuke, I'm okay. It should it should be
I don't
strict.
know. Like usually when the focus is on Sasuke, like some serious things are happening. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it's. I mean, it's just too much. I'm tired of Sasuke. I mean, I know his story points could be interesting, but it's too much. It was already unbearable in part one when he hogged the spotlight. I mean, I know he was trying to be. I know he was a rival for Naruto, but Sasuke still had, still got the better. But yeah, yeah, but I think the same. Like he has an agenda. Like I know James made a post in the forums and everybody was laughing at him. I'm accused of it too. I made a post of crazy Sasuke laughing. I mean, I knew he was serious though. I mean, it's funny because of course he has a plan. We don't think, I don't think he's back to being good. Like the Team Seven.
Well, Sasuke, he may be kind of like an evil person, but I don't think he really very much just like would try to mislead people here. Like he is doing what he's saying he's doing. He's most likely trying to go for the seat as Hokage. For what reason we don't know. We already heard it from him himself that he doesn't care what people think. He's just caring about really getting to become Hokage. Now, I initially when I first heard him say like I'm going to become Hokage, I was like, yes. Why did I say that though? It's because the interactions between Hashirama and Madara. Because what Hashirama was talking about was that if Madara could think of the village as his family, then he would essentially be the perfect Hokage. He would be able to do everything in the best interest of the village if he were able to do that. Because you know how cherished the Uchiha are of their loved ones, so much so that they go insane if they lose them. But in any case,
The love too much syndrome.
yes, but like I mean, I'm just saying like Hashirama had a pretty good idea there. It just like wasn't able to happen because like the village wasn't on his side. But if Sasuke could become truly good and he would essentially become the better Hokage. At least I think so. If he were able to truly become good, so and then that would leave Naruto to do some sort of diplomatic thing with the rest of the world, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But you notice what Sasuke is doing, like, Sasuke is doing something that um, even Madara's making the mistake of, is just he's not caring what the people think, and the people are the most important part about being a village.
Which is what Itachi said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Well,
can't be a
That's
great
what
leader
Sa-
if nobody follows you.
speaking of
Right.
Madara not caring, you'd think he would care that like all of the Kages just showed up, and I assume he could probably take him down because like we had like all the
Yeah.
5 Kages just like all like Tsunade, Raikage, Tsuchikage, Mizukage, and Kazekage, all of them against him, and he was just like he wasn't even taking the fight seriously. He was just like, you know what? I don't know when Hashirama's gonna get here, so sure, kill some time for me. He wasn't even taking the thing seriously, and now even like he just didn't even care. And like now that like Hashirama's here and like all the 4 Kages are there and they're all trying to take down the Jubi, he doesn't seem at all interested in the Jubi. Maybe he Maybe he thinks that they just can't. Maybe he's just arrogant. He thinks like, oh, there's no way these weak shinobi can take down the Jubi, or maybe he just legitimately doesn't care and he's actually in this for something else. I'm not
He's
sure.
in it for Hashirama. Yeah, that's exactly what he's
I
in it for.
Well, I
I
mean, he's not. If he really wanted to bring Hashirama back, he could have just brought Hashirama back. He has the Jubi for something. I think. I don't think Kishi would really say like, "Oh, I formed the Akatsuki and I captured all the tailed beasts so that somebody else could perform Ito Tensei for me." Seems like way too much work.
it would be funny if this became a Fist of the North Star ending.
Oh man, North Star.
Don't
Yeah.
spoil the ending of Fist of the North Star for me. I plan on watching it someday.
Well, then my comic's completely irrelevant.
Good.
But anyway, he's just sitting there watching everything.
Yeah, because he wants to fight. He wants to fight the. You know, he was going to fight, but he doesn't want.
Entire alliance if he just like went all out because it's mentioned before like Ito Tensei they have unlimited chakra. Oh what?
Participating in the battle.
You mean Madara?
Yeah.
Thing, Madara, yeah, Madara.
Madara. What I'm essentially saying, like, if he really wanted to, he could have had the entire Shinobi Alliance just dead easily, because without the five Kages there, they're pretty much extremely crippled. I mean, those were the five strongest people, and, basically the five strongest people in the world at the time, on the good side anyways, and he just took them all down without even... He didn't even care in the slightest. Like, he only got serious for half a second, and then he's just like, here's my serious mode, but I'm not going to use it because you're not important enough. I don't know. He already said, like, with an unlimited amount of chakra, so Ito Tensei's, they have an unlimited amount of chakra. It's not like he's going to wear himself down or get tired from, like, using an ultimate jutsu to kill the entire alliance. He could have done that, but he just chose not to. So I'm wondering what Madara's doing, or if this is just, like, some sort of weird writing by Kishi, or maybe Madara has some sort of alternate plans as well. Maybe they involve Hashirama. Who knows?
I did it all for a worthy opponent.
I don't even think Hashirama can even compare to Madara at this point. He's already gotten the Rinnegan, and he has all of Hashirama's powers, and he's an Ito Tensei. I mean, I don't know which one of them have better sealing techniques.
I'm actually curious if Hashirama does an Orochimaru and sucks his own essence out of Madara's body.
Maybe.
Wow, that completely came out totally wrong.
I've been thinking that the only way to defeat him is with the Reaper Death Seal.
Wasn't
They
that
got the
developed
spirit
by
of the
Minato? Wasn't that Minato's jutsu though, or?
Well, Minato is there. Hiruzen is there, and he also used it. So.
Oh, but I don't think
why not?
Hiruzen or Minato could take on Madara, to be honest.
Well, the thing I can think of is that the four of them surround him and do the Reaper Death Seal at the same time. I mean, Hiruzen could do it with Hashirama,
I don't know. Like,
with
maybe...
Tobirama, and with Orochimaru. You know, if he alone could do it with all them three, why not do all four against one?
But can the four Kages even match Madara? I mean, like, maybe with Hashirama there they could match him, but I don't know. And that's another question never mind, I'll let you guys talk.
I know what you mean, because Madara is
that's
like
an excuse for me saying I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I mean, all I could do is just wait, because I mean, I could think as much as I want, but you know, like it's all the speculation, Madara, what his plans. Like you bring up interesting points. I can't really like say what Madara's going to do. I mean, all I see is that Madara wasn't interested in fighting a clone of Hashirama, so he just decided to sit back. As far as the Jubi goes, the Juby, just let them let them go to town with that. Hey, we getting some fights, we getting some feats here, so just. I just don't really care about the whole Juby and that whole Moon Eye plan, whatever the heck is going on now. All I care about is what's going on right now, and that's with Team 7. That's the whole point. That's what I care about right now.
Oh, so you don't want to talk about the Juby?
Who cares about that Pokemon one? Pokemon reject.
Well, listen, what I'm saying is that
I just didn't care anymore. I was just like, yeah.
As much as we know about the Juby, we still know very little about it because every single one of the other, like all of the nine-tailed beasts, all of them, they have their own personality, and they were all like they were all just like split off into their own individual beings from the Juby.
Yeah, the Juby.
So the Juby, given that it said it was like the progenitor of the world, and is essentially like basically the creator of the world, or I think that's what they said. I'm not certain, but supposedly like throwing up mountains or something like that. Like they were talking about the Juby like it was essentially the god of the world, kind of like I don't know, but it had to be intelligent of some sort because the nine-tailed beasts were created out of it. So at this point, is the Juby right now just like some sort of? Do you think there's actually a mind in there, like, or do you think like only when it's like complete, like when it's in like its completed form, will it be like actually sentient, really?
Yeah, because it's not really complete. Maybe it's when the nine tails and the eight tails get in there, maybe you'll actually get the whole what you was talking about with the Juby. I don't really care about the Juby, so.
So then, right now, do you think it's just like a crazed animal, kind of?
Yeah, it's pretty much.
Well, considering that he did the base bomb and he got blocked by the barrier, he didn't think about the barrier, so yeah.
Yeah.
So this thing is essentially a gigantic mass of chakra that has like the Rinnegan, the Mangekyo Sharingan Rinnegan thing as its eye. So it could know any number of jutsu. And we still don't know how the Sage of Six Paths defeated this thing, so who knows what's gonna happen.
See, what you didn't know is in the legend is that actually this was his pet. And after he got it neutered, it got so mad.
Are you sure?
That's
what
why.
What if the Sage of Six Paths and the Juby didn't fight? What if instead they had like an agreement, like some sort of bargain? Like the Sage of Six Paths, he knew he wasn't going to be able to like straight up defeat the friggin' Juby, so maybe he could like maybe they had like maybe they had like a deal or something. And like as soon as like the Juby gets his final form, and they think like it's all over, we're pretty much all dead. There's no way we can defeat the Juby. It begins to talk, and it explains things, and I don't know. I think it'd be all. There's a lot of different things that could happen, and that's why I like the Juby so much.
Well, right now the Ten Tails is just an obstacle, so yeah. Hopefully they'll expand upon it a bit more, but right now I just want to see some action. Let's move it on.
Sit, boy.
I don't know. I'm just trying to talk about things that we haven't talked about before, because.
Oh, it's good. I'm not saying not talk about it. I'm just letting you know that just to add my input. I just step in, just sitting here and be quiet, so that way I can still exist in this podcast. That I just do not care about the Ten Tails. I like your ideas though. It's giving me something to ponder on. So maybe I'll do some research on it. But this manga has been going on for a long time, and it doesn't have the pacing like One Piece, where I can, the details really do matter. But hopefully some more information will come about with the Juby. But right now, Team 7 is the primary focus. So yeah.
shifting the focus towards
They should have capitalized
Naruto,
it.
like in the towards what? What'd you say?
Now I said they should have capitalized on the Juby's backstory when 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 they was first bringing it to light. That's all I was just saying.
Maybe. There's also that shot of like the baby QB talking to the Sage of Six Paths. Like I thought that was really cool. Like talked about like his backstory and everything.
Ah, it's adorable.
Yeah, apparently like QB used to be the size of like a small house at one point. That was pretty interesting.
It's adorable.
I mean, that was
Right
weird.
now,
To be honest.
now, like I was
But,
saying, like shifting the focus to Naruto a bit. Like at the end of the chapter, we see him and he's kind of like in his like tattered, like burnt up uniform. Like, is he like in that uniform because he's only in like QB mode, or is that just what Biju mode looks like when like your clothes have been like completely destroyed?
I didn't think much of it. I thought it was just battle damage. That's all I thought it was.
Like, it's kind of curious
Realistic
because
battle
like
damage.
we see Minato and he just like instantly goes into Biju mode and like is this like just like a regular like QB mode that Naruto has, or is this like Biju mode that just has like tattered robes or something that got like burned off? I don't know.
Maybe it's based off the clothes that you wear, which makes you realize, what if you were naked?
Well, I imagine you turn into like some Captain Manhattan thing, something like
Well,
that.
Now,
What do you mean,
now you
Dr.
talk about
Manhattan?
Biju
Oh
mode.
yeah, Dr. Manhattan.
Pingus, pingus, pingus.
Now with the
Yes, it
with
gets
Biju
very
mode,
distracting. I realize that.
Right.
We sure we're in a NaruSaku podcast? Cause
Well, you said like the first half was just talking about the chapter, so I just been flipping through pages saying whatever came to mind.
I know, but we're going to.
Do we want to talk about Sakura's power-ups now? Is that what?
But I mean, like this is what makes the podcast so great. Is that we just talk about everything, even if it has nothing to do with the manga.
You know, honestly, like half the things I've been mentioning, I haven't really thought of before. I just kind of thought them up because I didn't want everything to be quiet.
Anyway, so in the chapter, the last thing we discussed was about Madara being sit there doing absolutely nothing and seeing all the Hokages
Like a boss.
yeah, something like that. So anyway, there is something that I want to discuss in this chapter, and I know that eventually it was gonna be touched, so I wanted to bring it now.
no, it wasn't.
It was. It was. Believe me, it was. Okay. Naruto's reaction to Sakura's explosive power.
It's the same reaction he had to Kushina when he's like, "Oh, moms are scary."
I got diarrhea.
No, it's the reaction he had to Kushina when he's like, "Oh, moms are really scary." Like, I think that's when Kushina's like, "Oh, I beat the living hell out of the boys who tried to bully me," and she has like her fist up or something, and Naruto's just like makes that like exact same face. At least I think that's what happened. Don't quote me on that though.
He makes the same lip expression, like the lady lips. He makes that same lip expression with the sweat. Like no wonder Shikamaru and all that. But yeah, his expression was more like more like you scared shitless with the lady lips like.
Damn.
Listen, the point is not only like that's the same reaction. Like I don't know, we're trying to dip into more parallels because we need more of that. Kishi just doesn't give enough parallels.
Parallels.
So we gotta create more. So I'm gonna create the parallel here. Okay, Naruto reacts the same way to Sakura that he does. No, actually, cut that parallel. Could be used against us.
Why? Because then we say that Sakura treats Naruto like a son?
No, it would the way it would be used against us is Naruto reacts the same way to Sakura as he does to his mother, and then it could be used against us. So no, I won't make the comparison.
Why would you say that will be used against us?
Because I'll tell you the first thing that they would do. They would say, "Oh, well, Sakura is like a mother to Naruto, and then it's like that's not the kind of relationship that they're kind of like the same brother-sister argument that they have.
But didn't Kushina say find someone like me?
But if Naruto reacts the same way, I don't know. It's very odd. I'm just trying to think of ways that somebody mentioned this earlier. Like the NaruSaku fans themselves are finding ways to destroy their selves, while everyone else, like all the other fandoms, that they're focused on other things, and we're just trying to find ways to destroy ourselves. And that's essentially what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to find a way to destroy myself.
Stop it.
Yeah.
I can't help it. It's a habit.
You can help it, you just choose not to.
But I did it without even thinking of it.
Well, stop thinking then.
Yeah, just
Or start thinking.
Yeah,
I don't know.
let the
Just stop doing it.
Naruho's, let the opposite fandoms who, just let them say that. I mean, because we obviously know that's not the case. I mean, you might as well say that for any other series that are kind of like that. But I mean, everybody going for like Kushina, find somebody similar like me. That's how they base that whole argument like off of is just that one line. But she's not saying like just like it's she talking about in terms of like personality and everything like that. But that's not the moment because other like Ino's like that too. So hey, Ino's the same. Why can't you just go for Ino? Why Naruto and Ino? What's up with that? That could work too, but they don't say that. They just attack Sakura, NaruSaku fans like that, So.
The thing that really got me disappointed is I recently heard them just like start attacking Naruto himself, which I kind of got disappointed in. Like I could understand if you're thinking like, well, I understand like I support Naruto, but I don't think he likes Sakura. I think he would be happier with Hinata, so I want Naruto to be with Hinata. That's fine. I don't really mind that. Like if you want to think that way, that's fine with me. But when it's just like, oh, Naruto is a jerk, he should be like punched in the face for doing this and betraying Hinata because Hinata is the most important. That is when it agitates me. Is when you're trying to essentially attack Naruto, the main character, after like all the shit he's been through. Is like he can't help who he's interested in. He can't help who he loves. That's just something that comes natural to him. And you're gonna attack him for not having interest in someone who's essentially been a stalker to him for his entire life, and he's never really paid much attention to.
Hey, don't offend the goddess, please.
Whom? Oh, you...
How dare you question the great and almighty Hinata? Go on, Shadow. High five.
Can't believe I just fell for that.
We shall call him Toyota, because he fell like a rock.
Oh,
oh goodness. Anyway, in all, I think you should just ignore it. I mean,
pretty much.
I know we need to ignore it, but
the manga proves us that Naruto's feelings hasn't changed.
It's just that.
Anyway, I kind of feel like we're getting like really off topic. Like we're talking about all the things that people, like we're talking about all the things that people aren't talking about right now. We should be talking about the things that people are talking about this chapter. I mean, that's probably why they gave it.
Who deviated?
Okay, so okay, we mentioned this before the podcast. Like the first thing you think, like when you go in here, you're expecting a color page, and you get a purple tinted page as the color page, and then supposedly it said like
color.
How come we go back to the beginning? We already skipped all that already. I thought we was at the
that was before it started though. You guys disappointed that we didn't get a color page, or are you okay with this because like the art in the chapter is pretty good?
Well, they didn't lie.
Yeah, I didn't really care. So
Yeah, I didn't
colors
really care.
page. More than one.
It did say just regular color page, so I guess you can't sue them for false advertising.
What? Purple's a color?
But isn't the color page the page where the three guys are? like standing next,
Yeah,
almost
that's
next
the
to each
spread.
other.
Yeah, that's the
The
spread.
next thing that everyone has to be talking about is, of course, Sakura. She had an amazing chapter. Let's not lie to ourselves. This was a Sakura-centric
Oh,
chapter.
it's not us lying to ourselves. It's how the fandom's lying to themselves.
Mhm.
Because they're still saying that even after this chapter, oh, look how useless she is. She's not doing anything.
I know,
By the
it's-
way, what is Hinata
No,
doing
I
again?
haven't seen any of that, but then again, I haven't been like searching for it. So
you don't need to be searching for it. You just go to the telegrams and Naruto forums, and it's there. You
okay,
just kind of
so
look at everybody
Just reading
bashing.
all this. This grotesque misuse of the English language.
Sakura, she had a pretty amazing power up, and I just noticed she's not wearing a Konoha headband. She's wearing an Alliance headband.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, they all wearing the alliance. Yeah, everybody's wearing the alliance.
Naruto is wearing a Konoha headband.
Oh
He's
yeah,
fighting.
he's the only
He's
one.
the only
He's
one.
fighting for the Leaf Village. He's not fighting for the Alliance.
Well,
Yeah, how dare he?
wasn't there.
Well, considering they left him behind.
Yeah. He was
He's
training
not
out.
part of the group.
And here I am deviating again. We were supposed to be talking
Hey.
about Sakura.
Hey, at least he is wearing a headband. Sasuke's not wearing anything.
Yeah, point
He's
He's
taken.
wearing his Uchiha crest. He's fighting for the
Yeah.
Uchiha. It's on his back.
No, he isn't.
He-
Why is he joining Madara then? Obito.
What?
He's also fighting for Orochimaru
Because-
too. So-
because like
And
They're-
Naruto also
they're-
has an emblem.
Should just have a picture of himself in the back of his thing. Like,
Mm.
fight for me.
Mm.
Giving a thumbs up and a wink. Ding. Like some Orbitz commercial.
Anyway, James, do you want to discuss the infamous panel?
Do we have to?
I'm actually asking you. I mean, that's why that's why I'm asking.
Okay, we're going to, but do we have to? Do we really have to dig this one up?
I don't see anything. It's just that people have been speculating so much about this. It's creating chaos, and everyone is losing their minds.
Yeah, everyone is losing their minds.
So I'm like, people, don't.
Look, she's
Hey!
blushing. She's blushing. She's totally blushing. It's dirt. It's blushing. I can tell it.
I mean, even if it is
Ow!
blessing,
it's
even if it is blessing,
well. Listen,
cares?
the way you
It's-
can look at it right now, assume that it is. How
Yeah.
bad is that for us?
it's not even that bad. When I looked at it, yeah, I thought it was blessing because I
You
mean,
know,
the way-
honestly, when I read this chapter, I did not even care a single bit about that. I'm just like,
Yeah.
holy crap, Team 7 is back together. Look at them. They look exactly like the first thing I saw, like this panel right here, the second to last one at the last page. It looks like they are the Sanin team. I can just imagine like Tsunade being there, and then Orochimaru and Jiraiya. I can just imagine them like on the battlefield during I think it was the fourth Great Ninja War or the third. I forget which one it was, but that is
third,
what I'm
that's what
Sorry,
imagining
the
here.
Fourth Great Ninja War.
The third then, but
This
that's
was
what
the
I'm
fourth.
imagining. Like when I see them there, it's like this is literally the Sanin. Like that, I really couldn't believe it. That it's like the Sanin. And
Yeah, I mentioned that in one of the posts. The way Sakura, I said she looks just like Tsunade right there, and it was amazing. I was just like, wow. You know, I'm not a big Team 7 fanboy or anything like that, but it was a good picture. Like from the end of 631 to the end of 632, it was
Yeah,
great.
yeah.
This whole volume was just amazing. So,
I said it
so
before,
far,
but
so far the latest few chapters after the last volume has just been amazing. So
I said it before, but like it used to be where I was reading Naruto as a habit. I was just kind of like I'm following it because it's essentially become a habit. Like I've been following it for 600 chapters. I can't really stop now. I need to know what's going on. But now I'm legitimately excited again, and I'm like out of control reading each page, and that's exactly like the same feeling you get for a lot of you knew exactly what this feeling was in 631. It's the same thing as 632 for me. Like, I had the same reaction out of this. It was amazing. I just didn't really freak out as much because I went to sleep right afterwards. But point is,
I ended up flipping the table back over.
amazing. Just simply amazing. The plot is really getting back together, and I'm really looking forward to see what happens. Now, one of the main reasons is because, well, you already see Sakura as a huge power-up already. We haven't actually seen, like, the, like her real powers behind this, because, like, obviously she's, like, increasing speed and strength, and that's good. That's, like, that's the first step to becoming, like, more powerful. It's the same thing that you get with Naruto, where, like, Sage Mode, okay, being stronger and faster, that's good, but it's, like, all the techniques that come with that make it really, really interesting, and that's what I'm looking for Sakura with her new power-up.
Yeah.
I'm just going to assume, and I know it's not exactly, but I'm just going to assume that she can at least do everything that Tsunade can do.
Ah, that is where I disagree with you. I think she's gonna pull out new powers, but that's more of me hoping as opposed to thinking.
Well, of course she's gonna pull out new
Yeah,
powers, but I'm just gonna say at least this is what she's able to do. This is what she's able to accomplish, but
But
no
it
doubt that she'll
might
be
be
able
a
to pull something
different
else.
seal than Tsunade's. Tsunade's might be dealing with regeneration, while with this one, since it has a different name, and we don't.
It
I mean,
doesn't have a different name.
No, it's
well,
called the Byakugo seal. It's just Tsunade's technique was called
I,
Byakugo.
I remember. I
Seal is
remember
called
the translation first came out. It was the White Australia seal. And that was amazing to me. I even made an image about that. The I just love this. If this could actually be called White
Well,
Australia.
there
See
is
Steve Irving on her forehead.
there is a slight small variation in the Japanese term.
I know, but
It's a really small one. You know?
I just found that hilarious. I was just laughing when I
Oh yeah,
saw that.
that was funny. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, everybody was cracking on White Australia. Yeah, that was funny. Mm.
So I was like, this is not something exclusive to Naruto, but I always had this idea of like an anime power, and what this power would entail was essentially creating a force field. In the case of Naruto, like as a manga, it would be a barrier jutsu, which would essentially surround the body as a second layer of skin, sort of, and it would allow you to move freely, but it would also like it would like she wouldn't be focusing on like using strength because um the barrier itself would be essentially unstoppable and it would be moving around her constantly. So it would also provide pretty much the ultimate defense, and it would make her impossible to knock down because like if you there's like a barrier floating in midair and you punch that barrier isn't moving. The same thing with Sakura. If she were able to control the barrier properly, if someone tried to punch her, no matter how much force it was, the barrier is not moving. Maybe you broke through the barrier, but that would cause that would require a great deal of force, like as you see with like what Naruto had to do, Naruto and B with the combination of Biju bombs and Biju Dama, whatever, when they were breaking out of the Turtle Island place. So essentially, the power would allow you to be completely defended at all times, and also allow a really terrifying offense because at that point you need not focus anything on strength because the barrier itself is unstoppable strength. So at that point you focus everything on speed, and essentially you have what I think would basically be the ultimate technique. That's something I thought would be really cool. I just always want to see it in some kind of anime, and it might be possible here.
She covers herself in red jello. Got it.
I imagined it more of like a white glowing barrier.
So you mean like a second skin like Gara? Because Gara, he has ultimate defense. And
Oh, yeah, kind of like that, but much more powerful, as it would essentially be like a barrier, kind of like the one that they're using against the Jubi right now. Jubi tries to the Jubi attacks the barrier doesn't move at all, it stays completely stationary.
Oh, okay, that's what you said.
Barriers everywhere.
It would be a barrier technique that is not used to seal things away, but is rather used as an offensive move, which I think would be incredibly amazing. But it would also be incredibly overpowered as well.
Okay.
Yeah. So what do you think she's gonna get with this new seal?
She's gonna grow wings and fly away like an angel. A punching angel.
Hey, maybe she's taking lessons from Conan.
She's a siren. So you two aren't laughing, but Shadow is because he knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Borderlands.
So you guys got a like legitimate predictions. What do you think of these new?
So,
I think this is a good time for a break. What do you guys think?
yeah.
Yep, definitely.
All right, we're gonna take 5 or 10 or whatever, and we'll be back in a second. So,
Any particular time we need to be back by?
nope, just whenever you get back.
Okay.
All right, we're back. We're back after a little break, and we're gonna go into another topic, a big topic that's been happening a lot lately, and on this one little panel, this one tiny panel that you can't really see anything, and people are going nuts thinking it's Sakura blushing. Some people say she is blushing. Some people say she isn't. Some people think it's just dirt on her face. Me, who knows? But it's been a big topic that's come along, and people think, oh, well, now we have Sakura reverting back to her part 1 self. Oh, Sasuke-kun, you're so great! And other people are like, what are you talking about? She's just like happy that Sasuke is actually fighting as a team with them now, and she's not really like professing her love for him like right on this battlefield at the moment. And then afterwards, a panel, she directs her entire attention to Naruto and says to him, in the raw translation, not the other translation, but in the raw translation, she says, like, basically, don't sweat the small stuff, or I'm gonna be the one to take the Hokage seat. And Naruto's like, what, you too? Why does everyone want to be a Hokage? It was my dream.
It's funny that they're all talking about this now, right after Hashirama is just like, I'm glad we're all talking about becoming Hokage, but we're in the middle of a friggin' war. Please pay attention to the giant friggin' monster that's right there, destroying the entire battlefield.
I'm so great. Everyone wants a future, but can we deal with this now, please? I can't hold this Jello cube up forever.
Anyway, we're getting back to this. So we were talking about this a little bit over the break, and by a little bit, I mean we kind of got carried away. But that's fine. We're back now.
Yes.
So, Shadow, your opinions on this tiny little panel right here. What do you think of it?
Irrelevant.
Irrelevant.
If I can put it in one word,
Got
irrelevant.
it. Move on.
Look,
No, I'm just kidding.
if Kishi wanted to display a blush, as I was stating in the break, do you remember the Sakura Confession, the chapter? He showed not only a great panel of Sakura blushing while saying that she loved Naruto. People can take it as they see it, if it was truly a lie or not, whatever. To me, it wasn't a lie, but anyway. And you can also see Naruto clearly blushing in that panel. You know, if you wanted to see a character blushing, you're going to have a big panel showing it. This one is small. Irrelevant. Why do I say irrelevant? Look at her smile. It's the same in the 3 panels. Sasuke, the panel on the left where she says that if Naruto is focusing on the little details, he's gonna take the Hokage seat. And then the last panel too, when she's smiling and she said that they're going back to back. So,
okay, now, I ask you though, assuming, like, we don't know, okay? We can't really know. The panel isn't large enough to completely determine. Basically, people are going to be arguing about this until the end of time.
Or until the end of the manga.
But assume the worst here. Assume that she is blushing because she's impressed by Sasuke just showing up right next to her. why is this necessarily bad? Now, I'll tell you why it is bad. Is because it leads to the possibility that she could end up turning into a Karen. We know that's not going to happen, but it's the fact that that's still a possibility there.
All right.
Not to that certain degree, but that she still have feelings lingering for him, which she most likely does, given that they were always hinted that they're going to change, but never hinted that they are going to change, not hinted that they are that they have changed.
Okay. My opinion. Think back to part 1. How would Sakura normally react here?
The exact same way. I think it would have
No.
literally been the exact same way.
Actually, no. Actually, I think her eyes would shine even more. She would say, "Oh God, Sasuke, you're so cool! Oh my God!" And when Naruto says, "Hey, Sakura, I'm here," he's like, "Stay out of my way, Naruto."
I mean, what I'm seeing here is basically a smile and a little bit of a blush. Like that's what I honestly see when I look at that. Like you could argue it's dirt, but like ultimately Sasuke got there before Naruto, and it looks like she's just kind of impressed, and at least I can't even tell that's a smile.
That answered your question. She's kinda impressed. She's not fangirling over him. She's not heel over heads or whatever it is. You know, it's a simple smile. Good, he's there. That's it.
But this will still cause chaos. You know that, right?
It is causing chaos at the moment.
Yeah, but who's fault?
It's
Just look at the forums.
it's
Just
because
look at the forums.
Well, the thing about the forums, though, I saw, like, a bunch of people just saying, like, oh, no, play it off, it's not this, it's not that, it's this, and, like, they're basically every single person there is saying, don't worry about it. Like, they list, like, all the reasons why why it could be bad, and they're just like, don't worry about it, and that's what every single person says there. I never really see anybody, like, legitimately worrying about it anymore. I mean, first came out, there was people worrying about it, but nobody's really worried about it anymore. It's just like page after page after page of people like saying, "Don't worry about it."
I know a few things, but I can't say them on air. I can't. Shadow knows. You know Shadow. But yeah, I can't say them on air. But yeah, go ahead. Keep going. I'm just. Or are you finished?
No, anyway,
Well,
the point is that blushing or not, keep in mind that Sasuke is not paying attention to her.
Yep, that's what I was saying.
So,
like,
so if anyone is gonna say, yeah, go ahead.
No, you can keep going. I was just saying what I said earlier. Like,
mine is pretty much a final statement. That's why I want you to get going.
Yeah, like you just can't stay focused on like what right at that one panel. You have to look at what happens after too, and what happens after is she focuses on Naruto, and she blushed and whatever you think is blushing is dirt.
Read the situation here, okay? She obviously she must feel kind of embarrassed because she did just kind of turn her head and she just like turns her head to Shizune. She's like, oh hey, I'm gonna brag for a second. By the way, I don't even need to make myself look young because I am young. She just basically just turns her head to brag, and in that second she gets attacked, and then Naruto and Sasuke have to save her. So already she's feeling like embarrassed because of that, and then like Sasuke is just like right there. Maybe she's still feeling embarrassed. Like it's just so many different possibilities here. Like I could explain it 1,000 different ways, and it's because we don't know which way it is that it's going to cause chaos.
I'm gonna say it isn't blushing until proven otherwise.
Well, I can only assume that it is because, I mean, there's a line right there and a line right there, and it appears to be a smile, and she is somewhat surprised.
Yeah,
so...
but she also had dirt on her face, and if you know...
And she also just kind of got saved after she was kind of being a bit arrogant, so it makes sense why she would be blushing, because she should be embarrassed at this point.
Yeah. But anyway, point is, blush or no blush, Sasuke didn't pay attention to her whatsoever. He's saying, stay out of my way, Naruto, and he's actually giving his back to her.
Yeah,
that's why she said, we're going back to back. So if anyone says, no, this is make Sasuke canon, guess what? It's not.
Yeah, but you know all the people, we don't even care about those people, though. We care about the people who are going to look at this and consider things.
Actually, ironically, the NaruSaku fanbase, for the most part, is the only one that's concerned about this. At least from what people tell me, is that like nobody else noticed this but us.
That's exactly what.
That leads me back to what we were saying before. We try to destroy ourselves.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
is it really blushing, or is it just because we think it's blushing? If no one
I
else
think it
if
is. I
no one
mean,
else notices it and doesn't think it's blushing, and we think it's blushing, what does that say about us?
well, like I said, read the
Petty,
situation. It
petty.
makes a lot of sense for it to be, and like
Yeah,
honestly, I thought it was when I first read this, and I was like, reading through, it's like, okay, well, she like blushes because like, well, look what the situation you're just in. Like, I didn't even really care about it until people started
but it also makes a lot of sense that
talking
it's
about it.
dirt on her face. I mean, it makes both sense both ways. And it could,
And it's because it could be interpreted so easily why it causes chaos. When you can have something that it can be interpreted in different ways that easily, it's what causes chaos. Now,
Yeah,
it's kind of odd because there's a difference between chaos and denial. If you're gonna call, I don't even want to talk about 631, the reactions that 631 got from other fandoms, but yeah, you know, you've already talked about this before.
wah.
They called the Yellow Flash a traitor. Like, what? A traitor. As my own personal experience, it does not represent their entire fandom. So disclaimer.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
There is something though I want to bring up about this blushing though.
Go ahead.
I don't know if this makes a significance, but do you know how like dark those lines were on her face? And
Uh, they do seem a bit dark, yeah.
but you look at other panels where they actually are blushing and they're like lighter. It's a
Well,
much
it's
lighter.
because it's so small. If they were like so light, you'd barely be able to notice them because the panel's so small. So again, it's gonna cause chaos because it can be interpreted so easily, in so many different ways. It's the exact same way I felt about the confession as well.
Mm.
It can be easily interpreted so many different ways. And you have Kishi saying like, "Oh, it's true," but then it's like, "Well, which part of it is true? Could you please give us more
Well,
information, Kishi?" Like, no.
in the interview, it actually is specific. They say like, oh, so that's why Sakura would lie about loving Naruto, and he goes, actually, I just depicted her as an honest but stubborn girl. So they actually did bring up the whole "I love you" part, and he actually did say she's being honest.
That's
So
why. That's why.
So the
Uh,
honesty there is that she does in fact love Naruto. Okay,
Yes.
but we don't know to what degree. That's been obvious for a while. It's the same. It is just to what kind
Yeah.
that's arguable.
And I've been talking about this on the forum myself, and it was always about especially about the topic of bringing up this love triangle back again into the manga, and I was like, you got to play it really safe with this one because one wrong move and the whole fandom's out for blood, and that's
They
like,
already are out for blood for something that nobody else noticed.
yeah, but well, you're already the fan base is already out for blood, At least let them do it on their own terms and not Kishi, purposely do something to make them think something that isn't. You know what I'm saying about this?
it's
What you're
kinda
saying
funny.
is you don't want Kishi to pull a 615 and try to like purposefully mislead people.
Yeah. It's less damaging if Kishi just left it ambiguous for now up to the point where he really wants to discuss it right when he wants the whole triangle to end. Not just have like, oh, have this moment that we think is so ambiguous we don't know what it is, and then like not answer the question right then and there. And then just, okay, I'm gonna pause it and then go on with the story. No, that's what causes problems. Is when you have these ambiguous scenes that you don't know where they're going and they end up going nowhere or they get forgotten and it's like, ugh.
Yeah, has that ever happened before? In Naruto? Hmm.
Are you kidding? Like, are you
Trying to
joking?
trying to think of times when that has happened. Hmm.
The bench scene, the thank you scene.
Oh, well, the bench scene, like, some people argue that can even be taken seriously. I say it's very difficult to decide because it's presented in such a comedic fashion.
We got now this confession, which led to
Well,
nothing.
he did say thank you. I think he said thank you like maybe like a couple of weeks after that. Wait, how close was the Shinobi War? Like when he arrived on the battlefield to the pain arc? Was that like a month, or was that just like a couple of weeks?
In manga time or in real life?
In manga time.
Wasn't it like a week?
Maybe like a month or something. I'm not sure.
We're getting some connection issues here. You guys still hear me?
I
Uh,
can hear you.
I got a little bit of connection issues there. What did you say? It was how long?
I thought it was about a week.
I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
for like
at
a
the,
week.
At the
So
most, at the most,
a
it should be
week
a month.
later, somewhere between like a week and a month, he arrives on the battlefield. He's like, "Hey, thank you for saving me twice." That was essentially his response. He's like, "Oh, thanks."
No, he says, it would suck if you had to save me twice.
Yeah.
Didn't he say thank you like once or something? He said,
Nah, he said
It-
you're really strong. It would be like uncool if you had to save me twice.
Yeah, I could see it in your eyes.
Oh yeah.
Which is, oh, I groaned at that part. I can see it in your eyes. Oh,
Yeah, that line. Oh my gosh.
I didn't really mind. I mean, it's not like we have. It's not like we have like what like hundreds and hundreds of panels like supporting ourselves. It's like we never really had to worry about the pairing. What we had to worry about is what could damage the characters.
but this just to keep going forward with this conversation because we're kind of dragging, but just to go back into this love triangle thing, the reason why I don't want this to happen, and I did explain this in the forum as best as I possibly could, is I didn't want it to damage Sakura's character. It wasn't about NaruSaku that I was concerned about. It was about Sakura's character herself. And after Kishima has tried so hard to build up her character in such a way that now people are starting to respect her. Not everybody, but there are starting people to see really what Sakura's capable of and really starting to respect her now. It would ruin it to try to reinforce or reestablish that love triangle again in such a way that she starts like this mini-ish fangirling or whatever you want to call it.
I'm not so sure about that. Like two of like the most popular manga like weekly manga reviewers I know is Sawyer and For Neverworld. They both seem to have their own negativities towards Sakura this chapter, so
You're looking at two fanatics Naruhina fans where everybody sucks but
Yeah, I
Hinata,
mean,
so
pretty much.
hey, in their defense, they were pretty neutral for a while, and even when they were very neutral, they still had that fan base following them. So you can't really blame it on them for that fan base arriving there. You can more blame it on their own fan base for drawing out what they tried to keep neutral.
oh, so you're saying they're weak and they like bow to pressure. Okay.
No, you're twisting my words around.
That's a fandom. But yeah. I mean, yeah, they were neutral, but they're not anymore. Okay, if they were staying neutral, they'd be like, oh, okay, yeah, we see Sakura having all these like bad moments, and she hasn't really done it, but now we see her, and it's like, wow, this is such an improvement. It's great that Kishima's finally doing something with her. But now they're just bashing her right out, like now, oh, look how useless she is. She's not doing anything. Yeah.
No one said that she's useless.
Oh,
Not anymore.
They
I think they can
no, they
literally
still
just
say
throw
she's
that out the
useless.
window.
They still say she's useless.
Well, that's just denial. Like, there's a certain margin where you can.
Hi, I'm the Naruhina fan base. I deny everything.
Okay, listen. There's a very vocal community which does that. They're very quick to draw on support from people who are like-minded, such people like themselves. You can't really judge all of them based off of that, really, because there are those that are in denial. But I honestly think that
NaruSaku fans too. Not all NaruSaku fans are freaking out or in chaos over a panel. So that's the same kind of apply to that.
Okay, this is true. But however, I will say that most of the Naruhina fans are very big on denial and stuff like that because I've very rarely met Naruhina
the only
fans
ones
that
you
are
ever
actually...
talk to are the vocal ones.
Yeah, because the good ones are always so quiet.
It's just like a
I honestly would like to have a legitimate conversation, but you're not going to find a legitimate conversation on YouTube or the Naruto forum. Well, maybe the
Or
Naruto forums
Tumblr.
look hard enough.
Or Twitter.
forums.
Or
Nope.
YouTube. Or about 90% of all Naruto, like...
Yeah, Naruto
Hey,
forums.
listen, here's what you could do if you wanted to have a legitimate conversation. You would talk
Stay
to
away
a
from the
couple.
internet.
Yeah, yes, that too. But essentially, what I'm saying is you can't really judge all of them based off of the little vocal community it is. Because from my experience, like most of them, they just don't really care. Some of them, like they're basically like me, except as soon as I was exposed to this, I was just like, what? How dare they spread this blasphemy? These heretics or something, like some sort of stereotypical reaction like that. But
Oh, okay. But Naruhina fans, if you are true to your word and you are like as legitimate as most NaruSaku fans try to be, stop being quiet. Speak up for once, I don't care. I'm not gonna judge you because you're a Naruhina fan. I just judge you because of how you would debate.
Yeah.
Don't let Sawyer like talk for you. Talk for yourself. You got a voice. I'm sorry, but despite it, I still blame Sawyer for what he does because he chooses to be that way.
well, it's basically the kind of person, the kind of reviewer he's become. He's a bit more vulgar, I would say, but he's gotten like that more recently. He's gotten a bit more vulgar with the way he discusses his reviews, and such as that his community thus becomes vulgar as well, which is why we have this explosion of what seems like just horrible, terrible conversation, terrible debates, and terrible arguments, like all throughout the comic sections. Why don't you just say, don't go to YouTube, don't go to the internet if you want to have a legitimate conversation about it?
Yeah, but if they don't go to YouTube, they want to hear my podcast. So don't tell them. So
Okay,
don't tell them
but
that.
Look, I'm just gonna give an
Trying to
advice
get me
to any
fired?
fandom. I'm just gonna give an advice to any fandom, be it NaruSaku, Naruhina, Sasaku, whatever. Be careful of double standards, please.
Double standards.
Double standards, that's all. Be careful of that. Because that's usually what destroys any argument and any debate.
Yeah.
no, a lot of the times the things that destroy arguments and debates I have is just they just start resorting to name calling, and so it's just like, okay, well, I guess I sort of win, but they think they win. I don't know.
Yeah, and they start thinking that their opinion becomes fact, even though it's still just an opinion.
Well, we kind of think our opinions are facts, so I mean, aren't we the same? It's just we kind of think we're better because
Except we
bias.
try to back our opinions with actual facts. Like,
Well, they tried it too.
not all the time they don't, because they end up saying like, "Oh, this panel is completely
Well, I
this
mean,
panel is
like-
completely platonic."
Okay, listen, like there's always a little bit of shock. Like the thing is, like I can never like truly say like I've never really thought like no matter like how much an opposing fan would say your pairing is not going to happen. Here's all my reasons. I've never really had a problem like I've never really doubted really because I don't think Kishi's a bad writer and he wouldn't just do all this for nothing. Like maybe there's like a few coincidences here or there. Maybe this is plutonic or that is plutonic here or there. But when you go all the way down the line and focus on like the whole manga, you look at the bigger picture, you can very clearly see what it's leading to. And like the amount of interactions between
Jupiter.
Naruto and Sakura and the so few that there are between Naruto and Hinata, it's just it doesn't make sense any other way, at least from my perspective at least.
I will admit, it is fun to like mess with some of them and be like, "Oh, that was totally platonic." Use the same arguments against them.
Yes, Hinata was talking about Naruto in a motherly fashion. She She has perfectly platonic feelings for Naruto, that she does not love him in a romantic interest whatsoever.
She sees him like a brother.
Now we're kind of getting into a sort of semi-bashing.
Yeah, well, we're
topic
gonna
here.
be banned soon, so.
That's fine though. I'm okay with that. I could just get a new
Hey,
account.
I only do it with Naruhina fans that deserve it. Which are the most obnoxious ones I've ever met, so.
Cool.
I think one of the reasons why I actually started reading the manga was like and I found the manga to be so much more so much more reliable when it comes to this, because I was watching the anime for like so long, and then go to YouTube, and then like Slextrum, when she actually had videos on her channel years ago, she had like the original build up, which was awesome. And that was kind of like a slideshow that was very quickly showing like all things, basically the same. It's basically what we have in our in the forum, but it's like a slideshow kind of, and it's like very quickly speeding through it, and it's like some nice. You see this nice editing involved. I was like, holy crap, this must have taken forever, but it was really good to recap, and that's why like ever since then I like never really had any trouble with this pairing. And I'm just rambling on. I'm just thinking like, are you guys gonna?
Hey, we
Yeah,
just want you to.
we
We got some. Yeah, we just gonna, now we just letting you finish your thoughts, not interrupting you. That's all,
Yeah.
I guess I'm just wrong to expect to be interrupted then.
We're being courteous.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's a pain to have three people talking and then trying to get their word in.
Yes.
I'm expecting you guys to be impolite, so you guys should not like me.
What do you think I am? NaruSaku for life?
You know, the funny thing about him is, when he like first like got into the forum, like I just like got on as well, and it like I like as 100 posts, I was like, oh hey, here, have this Konoha headband, because like when you get your 100th post, it like lists you as a genin. Like I did that as a joke, and then like I logged back on one day, he has like friggin' 5,000 posts. I was like, what on earth have you been doing?
And he works too. How do you have a job and do that? But we love you, NaruSaku for life.
He has
We
a
love
job too.
Yeah. He's always late
Wow.
for the podcast every time he tries to come on this thing.
Guys made us something else.
I'm glad you do this on weekends, James, because if you didn't do this on a Saturday, I wouldn't be able to make it.
But we love you, NaruSaku for life. We're just...
No, I'm really impressed actually that he's able to pull all this off.
Yeah.
And like especially being able to participate in the forums that much, I imagine everyone there already knows him. So he's got like 5,000 posts in like such the short amount of time he's been here.
Actually, I could just
Well,
see him at, I could just see him at work. I'm so bored. Let's see what's on the forum. Oh, how dare he! Oh, I'm mine and angry. Hard punctuation. Yeah, take that. Yeah, I'm badass. Hey, James, what did you do today? I just told someone off. Really? Who? Oh, they were on a forum.
But yeah, like...
This joke is not being funny. Go ahead.
But yeah, to go back to 632 again, like at the beginning, like how you saw the other teams, like Team Asuma and Team Kurenai. It seems like everything's just been like kind of, everything's back to the way it was before. It was like how nostalgic. Shikamaru was all like annoyed. Choji. I think was Choji strong? I don't remember, but yeah, you saw Hinata go back to, stuttering again. Kiba. What was up with Kiba's markings?
Okay, though, I don't think that's what anyone was focusing on here. I think everyone was focusing on like now everyone who was a Kiba Hinata fan, they are now all going insane.
Woo!
I'm listening.
They finally got their one bit of development. It was magical.
Yes, and despite contrary belief,
just like that one time that Itachi looked into Sakura's eyes, magical.
and
They're meant to be.
And despite contrary belief, yes, we want Hinata to be happy too, just not with Naruto. That's Sakura's.
Oh, but, like I think she's over him at this point. This is what she said in her speech, wasn't it? Like as soon as I do this, and then she did that. Now she's supposed to like. Then now I'm going to stop. I don't know.
Oh.
I think she's over it.
Oh, well, Naruto's hand is so big and strong.
Stop it.
And...
Just cut that out right now. We don't want that in this podcast.
The lead.
Choji was finally fit until Naruto was like, "Nope, sorry, bro, not happening."
Yeah.
He's finally in shape, and now Naruto just like ruined it.
Yeah, good job, Naruto.
So, predictions for next chapter. Any you guys got any predictions?
I have a funny feeling we're gonna go back to Obito and Kakashi.
That's exactly what I was just thinking
Didn't you
too.
say that last chapter? Didn't somebody
Thing
say
is, I've been saying that 2 weeks ago and it hasn't happened, so I don't know.
Things have had a tendency of just going really well for us recently. Like we're just like, there's no way. Like Minato's not gonna make the comparison. Like that's not gonna happen. Like Sakura, she's probably not gonna get a power up. Like I don't think any of that's gonna happen. All of a sudden, one chapter, everything that could have possibly gone right goes right in a single chapter. And then the second chapter, we're all like still being so cynical. It's like, oh, it's probably just going to be like a whole chapter of Obito and Kakashi talking, and then we get this awesome chapter that's very Sakura-centric, and we get like all the, and she shows off her awesome power, and we got the Team 7 back together, looking like the Sanin. Everything's going awesome. So maybe Kishi has finally decided to turn things around and show us that patience will be rewarded. So as for that, I quietly wait and expect Kishi to keep providing such an awesome manga.
Okay. People always saying, what do we expect next week? I don't know if it will happen next week, but one thing everyone is expecting, and let's see if Kishi surprises us once again. Forehead compliment.
Oh yeah, I've been reading about that in the forums.
You really think that'll happen in the middle of like battle though? I think it'll happen like after they've already defeated it, and then like Sakura. I'm basically repeating exactly what I said in a forum post, which I've been doing a lot recently, huh? But anyways, essentially, Naruto and Sakura are gonna be together for whatever reason, and Naruto's gonna be like, "That was amazing! I can't believe that you had all this power, all that you have all this power now." And Sakura to be like, "Oh yeah, it's awesome, but the only bad part is that it makes my forehead stick out even more, like my big stupid forehead or whatever stick out more." And then that's when you know the rest. Naruto compliment, yada yada.
And where's
The rest
Sai?
is obvious.
Where's Sai?
Yeah.
Well, you remember the last thing that happened when a character was cut out of all their screen time for an extended period of time. That happened to Sakura, and now look what happened. Perhaps Sai is going to get his special arc. Not arc, but chapter.
Tsunade, are you okay? I'm cut in half. That's okay. I got cut from the chapter too.
Oh, Tsunade, she's not going to be fine, but hey, I mean, she's still moving. I think she's still got that seal on her forehead, so
I can't feel my legs.
I think she's gonna have to give her life to save the Kages, and maybe that's what we'll see. I mean, we haven't heard from Tenzo in a while, or Yamato, I should say. Tenzo is his real name.
Yeah.
What's
That
what's
guy's
Yamato
like-
with you?
So Yamato.
What's Yamato? What's Yamato with you?
Oh.
Do you think
Them puns,
Sasuke's
them
Amaterasu? Do you think Sasuke's Amaterasu is enough to just one hit the Jubi? Because that thing is inextinguishable and it spreads like wildfire to anything it lands on. So in theory, he could just kill the Jubi that easily.
Well, considering how the Rasen Shuriken, which is a wind element, didn't spread the flames, I don't know.
I think it's a different kind of flame than that.
It's a hellfire, isn't it?
It's an
Something like that.
inextinguishable flame that essentially spreads to anything. It'll light anything on fire. It'll light fire on fire.
Yeah, like a hellfire, which is like fires from hell. Or
I guess. But the point is that Amaterasu is probably the most powerful technique ever seen in the series so far, because how can you possibly stop it? You
Well-
could cut off your arm. That's what the Ryakage did. The only way to...
Well,
You think the Jubi's gonna like shed its skin and do like a evolution thing where it like comes out and it's like the full Jubi or something? If it gets hit by Amaterasu, what is it gonna do?
well, you gotta keep in mind that Obito did manage to survive that. I'm still wondering how, but yeah.
I assume it has something to do with his space-time jutsu or something about him being like he can tear off his arm and it just regrows later. Something to do with his like Hashirama cells.
Yeah, he did go in them shadows. Who knows what he did to get rid of Amaterasu.
I'm sorry, random thought. Did anybody just have a picture of like that SpongeBob episode where he kept ripping his arms off, but with Obito? Like this? Or like this? Or like this?
He tears his arms off a lot, so I wouldn't blame you if you thought about that.
Only it doesn't grow back. Ah!
No, it grows back.
I mean,
How many limbs has Obito torn off so far?
he has them plaqued on the wall, like 7.
You guys ever remember the time he like tried to like kick a wall in or something? Like when he was going to save Rin, he just kind of splatters against it. I don't know, Obito, man.
It's kind of a
Yeah, oh
Banff,
my
isn't he? He's a Banff in his own right. I'm gonna say that.
Well, I mean, Obito did go toe to toe with Naruto, and essentially, I don't know. People are like saying like Obito, he's like really not that good of a fighter. Well, is he really not that good of a fighter? I mean, he is kind of going against Kakashi. I thought Kakashi would have just been like straight up destroyed by Obito, but is Kakashi better than we think he is, or is maybe Obito just not as good as we think he is? Curious to see, because like for a long time, like Obito, this Toby, Madara, whatever you want to call him, the Masked Man, he was such a threatening villain. He was like, this is probably going to be the final fight. Naruto versus, or the second to final fight. We're forgetting about Naruto versus Sasuke, but they're probably going to be like the deciding battle, like Naruto versus Obito. But now who's it going to be? Like Naruto and Team 7 versus the Jubi, but all the Kages are there, and so is the entire Ninja and Shinobi Alliance. Like they're going to help
What's
him
left
too.
of him.
Well, Naruto saved. There's probably at least 30% of the Shinobi Alliance left. I don't know how much that like barrage of spiky death did to the Shinobi Alliance, but I assume it took out a great number of them.
We did have
I
Obito.
guess.
Well, Obito did actually manage to like actually put up a fight against Minato. So
Well, wasn't like Obito like 15 at that time, like a year after he was he was like very young at the time, I assume, because I don't know, the Naruto timeline has a lot of flaws in it, so I don't know. The point is he just like straight up goes to Minato and he basically defeats him, like just completely defeats Minato, like destroys like half the village, kills him and his wife. But I'd say that Obito basically just won that battle, and I honestly don't think the Fourth really did enough that time. But that's after seeing like that's compared to like what we're seeing now, where we got like Madara, who basically just treats like all 5 of the Kages like they're nothing. Like it's just the power creep. It just increased so much that like when we look back on things, it's just like you need a lot more to impress these days.
unfortunately, Naruto's suffering from a Dragon Ball Z syndrome, where every time you get a new villain, it has to be more powerful, more flashy, more, so. Which was the Dragon Ball Z syndrome, because when it originally was the Frieza arc was supposed to end, now you got all these other villains. Oh, I could destroy the universe. Yeah, well, I could destroy this. I could destroy that. Yeah,
It was like a huge like whoa moment, like when Master Roshi just like straight up blows up the moon. I was like, whoa, that is freaking amazing. I was like, moon, I could blow that up just by blowing in its general direction. I fought in your general direction, moon, and it just shatters in a million pieces.
And then here comes Superman. I could destroy a whole universe by sneezing.
That happened in, I believe, one of the earlier versions of Superman. He just destroyed entire galaxies by sneezing. That was a thing that happened.
Superman supports NaruSaku.
Oh, let's not forget the #1 biased NaruSaku fan,
Yeah.
Masashi Kishimoto.
And #1 NaruSaku supporter Minato.
You know, I would like to give myself a medal of derailment because I've managed to derail so many things so far.
Oh, well, you have to compete for me.
Well, no offense, but I think I kind of blew you out of the water in terms of derailment today.
Wait, derailment off topic or derailment into randomness?
Derailment into basically, I say like, oh, let's discuss this, and I just discuss
Pineapples!
everything except for that. Like, let's talk about all the things that people were talking about this chapter, and then I talk about none of the things that people were talking about this chapter. That's what happens. I talk a little bit.
Let's talk about
Too much.
pineapples. I love pineapples.
Well, we did talk about the chapters, but we just didn't, talk about, we didn't stay in, the topics that are hot right now.
Yeah.
So I just personally didn't want to talk about all that pan. That's why I didn't really stray into it too much.
Well,
'cause this is stupid. I don't want.
Do you have something you want to talk about?
Oh yeah, I'm happy that One Piece is coming back next week.
That has nothing to do with NaruSaku.
I know. That's
You
why
know, I am too. Like you got Luffy, and I'm not gonna spoil things, but I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, that's why I ain't say nothing because I was gonna wait till after the podcast.
I'm gonna edit this.
Oh, you're gonna edit me out
I
of the
could.
entire
I
podcast.
could actually if I wanted to.
You could. I'd be surprised if you took the time. You'd end up with like a 30-minute podcast.
In fact, I could actually edit my whole voice out so it's just you three talking to nobody.
What about Shadow? You got anything you want to talk about?
Excuse
Shadow?
me, what was that again?
You want anything you want to talk about?
As of right now, not really. As you can see, I have a noisy visit. That's why I've been having it on mute. So that's why.
Oh, you don't got anything to talk about? Well, I guess I could just keep rambling on. Like, how long do we need to make the podcast?
Well, we just end to end.
Yeah.
Until we have nothing else to talk about, we could just end to end.
Well, I just been talking about random stuff to fill a gap. You guys want to talk about something, James?
It's simple. We kill Sasaku.
Oh, how do you kill that which is already dead?
With garlic, steak, and or is it silver these days? I don't know. How you kill vampires?
Hmm. We're really drawing to a silent here. Do you guys not have anything to talk about?
Uh,
Well, I have this list of questions in case this ever happened.
okay, fire away.
Let's see.
Make sure it's a
Which
question
one
we
is
haven't
good?
talked about already.
You think it's just gonna be Team 7 against the Jubi, or will it be the Kages and the Alliance to help out as well?
I think everyone's gonna help out, but we're mostly gonna see T7 as the main focus.
You think Team 7 is gonna be the main focus on fighting the Jubi?
Yes, but it's not gonna be just them fighting, if you know what I'm saying. Like, it's gonna be implied that everyone else is fighting, but we're just gonna focus on Team 7.
So you think the Kages, the Edo Tensei Kages, they're going to be helping, but it's going to be Team 7 really doing the main
Yes.
brunt of the assault?
Yes.
You don't think the Kages are going to go fight Madara?
But you're asking if to fight Juby. Usually they're gonna fight Madara after they take care of Juby, so that's two different subjects.
So you think Madara is literally just gonna keep sitting there and just wait until the Juby's down and
Yeah,
expect Hashirama just to honorably fight him one-on-one with the entire alliance sitting right there?
yeah.
Okay. I wouldn't put it past Kishi to do this since it is Naruto.
Madara's so arrogant. I could see him doing anything. Just be like, yeah, I'm gonna wait here.
I think he might have finally met his match, okay? The entire Shinobi Alliance and like all the previous Hokages. What was I saying? Like the sentence before then.
Uh, like Madara has finally met his match.
Oh, right. The entire Shinobi Alliance, that is essentially. I don't even think Madara could just take on the entire Shinobi Alliance and just make them look like nothing, like he did with the Kages. So I don't know. Maybe Hashirama himself is enough to take him on. We don't know.
Does kind of have that immortality thing going for him.
And that unlimited chakra supply. But then again, Hashirama has that too. So do the other Edo Kages. The only way to defeat him is to seal them.
Yeah, so so if it was just him versus the Alliance, then yeah, Madara would win straight up. But with the inclusion of the four Edo Tensei Kages, he's gonna have a bit of trouble.
All right. Another question. Is the Shinobi Alliance or the Shinobi War, or the Fourth Great Ninja War, the climax of the series?
No,
You don't think this is the climax of the
no.
series? So the next arc will be the climax. The next arc is when you're to think like it's like you explain.
I definitely believe that the next arc will be the Naruto versus Sasuke fight. I actually foresee this Naruto and Sasuke fight spanning lots of chapters. Because this is the final battle. It's not just a battle of who's strongest, but who has the right choices in life, who has the higher morals, who has the right ideas, who is going to lead the new free world. And it's deeper than just, oh, I'm the strongest, you're the weakest. No, it's so much deeper than that, which I actually foresee this being similar to like a Goku versus Frieza fight, almost.
How so?
Where it's just, excuse me, where they're gonna go blow by blow. They're gonna have like this monologue of talking, then they're gonna go blow by blow again. They're gonna have monologue of talking, then blow by blow again, and then and they're gonna keep repeat until you finally reach this climax.
So you think they're going to be talking throughout the entire battle?
Yeah, I think there's gonna be a whole volume dedicated to nothing but this fight.
That seems like it might be a bit stretching it for like the entire arc to be one fight, but it's definitely possible.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of thinking how that might be done. You think if that were the case, like that, there'd have to be like no lethal wounds or like whatsoever. Is that even possible in Naruto? I mean, they'd be kind of. If they're not really aiming to kill the other, then it'd basically just be a spar.
And then make the fight itself so pointless.
Yeah. Huh. That's a difficult thing to discuss. I think what's going to happen rather is like it's going to be like a false victory. They're going to think they're going to have won over they're going to have won the Shinobi War, but there's been something plotting behind it all, and that's when it like really boils down to like a few major players, like some serious major players. Naruto is going to be one of them. I expect Sakura to be one of them, and Sasuke as well. And I think Madara, he might somehow potentially be involved as well because like he's just been acting so shady throughout this entire war. The one who's really been really focused on actually accomplishing the plan is well, Obito really. He's the one who's like, we must do this because everything is like a lie. He seems like he's just been brainwashed by Madara as to act kind of like a puppet. Madara himself, he didn't really seem too interested in it, honestly. So I don't know. I just think there might be something else going on with Madara, and if that is true, he might like fake his own defeat or something, and somehow like it's going to be like a false victory, and next arc will be all about that. Now it just goes very, very, very quickly, and everything happens in rapid succession. Like um, something far greater than that. Like maybe something to I don't know. I don't think there's really any way you get more sinister than controlling everyone in the world. But I don't know. We'll see what happens from Kishi.
Adolf Sasuke. I don't know.
By the way, have the other two on the podcast? What happened to them?
Yeah, I'm actually here. You can hear in the background there is someone really noisy.
Yeah, I had to go to the restroom for a second.
So then, do either of you have thoughts about like what do you think is going to happen after this war? Like, do you think the war is the climax of the series or what?
I'm pretty sure there's an arc after this war. They'll probably deal with the whole Team Seven.
Well, there's most likely going to be an arc, but the question is, will that arc be the climax of the series, or will this arc be the climax of the series? Well, the next arc acts as like more like a resolution if this were the climax right here.
It's hard to say because that's just right now. You know, it seems like it could be it seems like it's the climax, but you know, I can't say. I can't say because I mean, Hyuko Mundo. You know, I mean, I'm thinking to Bleach, you know, stuff like that. You know, everybody praised the Soul Society arc, so. That's the,
is that a whole thing like literally one arc? We're getting off topic. We're not even talking about Naruto anymore.
Talking about Bleach. Close enough.
Hey, they're both like run by Harriet Studios, aren't they?
Yep.
And they're both in the top 3 manga of the state, of the country.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me about Top Manga. This is a Naruto podcast. I keep trying to get off topic. Oh. Do we have like enough is there anything anyone else wants to get discussed? Because I'm just trying to drag things on here.
We're almost time to go, so whatever you guys want to talk about.
I don't really have nothing.
To me, honestly, I don't think this is gonna be over just yet. There are still many things that need to be resolved. We don't know about the five Kages, we don't know about Yamato, we don't know about how Kakashi and Obito are doing. And even after all of that is done, I think there's still gonna be some things left before the final battle, which is gonna be Naruto versus Sasuke. So yes, the manga is currently in a very interesting arc, to say it like that, but I don't think the climax is just yet. At least that's my take.
Okay.
You know, I honestly have like some of the same opinions. Like, there's just like too much shady stuff going on.
Yeah.
Just kind of wondering.
It's pretty much like what Kishi says, you know. He says that he already has the ending planned, more or less, but there are so many things that need to be resolved that we just can't get there at the moment.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. The Naruto versus Sasuke fight. If Sakura is as powerful as they are, what is she going to be doing during that fight?
Well, she already said she's going to leave it up to them.
Yes, but is she just going to sit on the sidelines and watch it all happen?
Probably.
I think
that's kind of like a...
When
don't you think that's kind of an odd like end like Team 7 that's more of like a Naruto and Sasuke arc as opposed to like a Team 7 arc if that were the case.
Well, I don't like. What do you want Sakura to do? Punch out Sasuke? Do you want her
No,
to?
I'm thinking like if that were what it was all like about, and there's gotta be more to it, and it's like such a huge puzzle that I don't even know where to begin to like piece it together. It's just what I'm thinking that Kishi is trying to create here, which he may not actually be creating at all. But I assume that the next arc is going to be like a huge amount of revelations, and you're gonna not really know what's going to happening, but it's all going to make sense because it would have been foreshadowed in the past, and you're going to see all this coming together. I assume that's what's going to happen. I think Kishi's got this under control, but I don't know. He always rewards patience, doesn't he? It's like, oh, everyone's freaking out about what is it, 439, and then 450 comes along. There you go.
And,
Told you to be patient.
and then 473.
Well, what was 473?
Or was it 573? I don't know anymore.
I think it was 573 because I'm pretty sure 450 was like
I'm
439 was the confession and
I'm thinking of
450
five. I'm thinking of
was
540.
and then
Or
450 was the hug
or
and then past that 469 is the confession.
yeah, that's it.
It's all numbers to me.
They are all numbers, but it's just useful for when I don't. Nobody has to do this anymore because they got like the build-up thread right there. But you used to like when you had to like cite your information, you had to go like remember like oh, I gotta go all the way back to this chapter. It's like that's how you memorize them. When people are like asking for information.
Hmm.
Well, I do think we reached the end of the show, though. There's not really much else to talk about.
I think we reached it like 10, 20 minutes
Yeah.
ago. It's just trying to drag it on, really.
Well, I'm James S
Hey,
Cassidy.
can I ask one more question before we go?
Okay.
There's actually a thread about this. Why do you like NaruSaku?
Why do I like it?
All of you.
I think I already answered that back at the beginning.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
why you became a NaruSaku fan, not why you like it, though. Any the particular
Same
characteristics
difference.
about it.
It's the same thing. I liked it because of Naruto's dedication to soccer. That's pretty much what I said.
My answer was always because they're selfless towards each other.
In the reason why I like NaruSaku is actually chemistry, if I can put it like that.
Oh,
yeah.
you
How
like
they
you
work
like
so
their
well together.
interactions.
Yeah, how they work so well together in everything. Serious talks, jokes, action, you name it.
Well, it's such a well developed formula that's kind of been developed through like shonen manga is this idea of the tsundere heroine love interest and the comedic Nakama centered never give up hero. It's such a well explored combo, and people are like, oh, not combo, but you know what I'm trying to say. It's a it's somewhat of a somebody knows words for it. It's something that occurs in a lot of different manga, and it works all the time. What is it called? Nobody knows the word
A
for it.
trope?
Maybe a trope. Uh,
A dynamic.
dynamic. Think what the word for it is. Maybe it's kind of cliche almost, but in a good way.
Yeah, a trope.
Yeah.
A good cliche is
I
called a
don't.
trope.
Mhm.
I guess. There you go. That's what it means, and okay.
Yes. I like tvtropes.com.
Hmm.
Go to that website. I love that website.
That website is great.
So, now I've just been talking your guys' ears off for like 2 hours. That's what I do.
Yeah. Well, we reached the end of our show now. Hopefully. Maybe.
Got any final words like for the forum or something?
Don't expect me to write this much in the forums. I talk this much here because I'm lazy and I don't like to type things out.
And for NaruSaku fans, do you have anything to say?
Well, just don't sweat the small stuff.
Just remember, like, this is like probably the most important thing I could say here. Your patience will be rewarded. Give it time and Kishi will give you answers. That's what I have to say.
And reread the manga. Yeah.
Keep looking
We
at
seen
that
the evidence.
horizon.
Or if you want everything else censored out, you could just read the build up here. I mean, that's basically all the development that they've had. Well, I'd say about 99% of it.
Yeah, just for pairing related. But I think I think people should still reread the manga again. Just
Of course, I mean, like the the Chunin exams arc was just like amazing. I love that. Like just rereading again, like that was amazing. I loved every second of it. Reading it chapter after chapter in succession is definitely the better way to read it. You can get a lot of enjoyment just out of like the same series again, just because it's just hard. It's easy to forget how awesome those fights were and how awesome the story was.
Mm-hmm.
So in the end, trust NaruSaku.
Trust Kishi.
Friends don't let friends. Friends don't let friends pair Naruhina. Goes NaruSaku. I'm just kidding.
We are fanatics. Let's not kid ourselves.
Hey, at least we admit it.
At least we admit it.
Well, I think the difference is in the fact that we try to respect other people.
Most of us
Other
do.
fans, other characters.
But let's not try to idealize ourselves too much. There are still people among us, myself included, who end up going on a tangent and just end up flaming people.
Hey, if you respect me, I respect you. That's my deal. You don't want to.
Actually, I think the thing I did like the most when I first joined the forums is flame people. I just kind of slowly stopped flaming people, a little bit by little bit. I still do it a little bit, but not on purpose.
But anyway, in the end, there's a lot of development just to deny NaruSaku, so have faith. For real. We're on the road to it after all, like Forlight said, right?
Yeah. On the road to Viridian City.
I figured somebody was gonna say that.
We're on the road, getting strong. I always thought that was weird. Anyway, getting strong.
Yeah.
I was like, what are they doing?
Guys, we need to end the podcast. We're gonna go on for another 20 minutes. Oh, we could talk about anything once the podcast is over.
Handle my Pokeballs.
Hey, I'm pretty sure the people listening to the podcast will enjoy it.
Oh, they'll
No
probably
doubt.
laugh.
I kind of enjoy myself with this podcast.
Well, I'm glad. I always try to make
Really?
this enjoyable.
Yeah, it's really enjoyable.
I don't know. I feel like I caused more trouble than I should have.
Yeah, you think too much, dude. Don't think about it. Just have fun.
Well, I could always not invite you back.
Oh yeah, you could.
Oh.
You should probably edit that out, James.
Oh no, I'm leaving it in. Jane, you're so mean. Sometimes. No, I would love to have you guys back on if you ever want to be on. It's been fun.
Yep.
Trying to get Twilight Link back on here because I really like that guy. He's an amazing reviewer.
Oh my god, you too?
What? I've been subscribed to him for over a year
I just get
now.
so many people. Oh, dude, you gotta check out Twilight Link.
Well, who is that?
Then check it out.
Who that is?
Check it out.
Totally gotta go over
Check them
there.
out.
Man.
That's it.
Everyone, youtube.com/TwilightLink21XX. There you go. Go there.
Shameless advertising.
It's not even self-advertisement. I'm trying to
That's why I
direct you
advertise
all
my
to
channel
a
too.
good
So,
reviewer.
Twat Link, we found you a fanboy.
I'm gonna do a shameless plug too. You know, check out Psyduck.
Check out these guys' pet channels if they have one. I think. I don't know. I could probably link them if they want me to.
You could, but all I got is like one video of like a game, which I got one video. I don't need my channel link.
Yeah, my channel's pretty much a gaming channel. I do some Naruto stuff. People request like Naruto fighting games like the Storm or the Axel series, and people requested pairings and all that stuff if they want to see
Okay,
that.
guys, this is officially added to the NaruSaku podcast. After every single, while we're wrapping things up, we do some shameless promotion. Shadow, would you like to do some promotion as well? You got a product you want to sponsor? Did anyone pay you? Say something here.
Pepsi.
Well, no, but there is someone I have in mind actually. There's a member in the forums called Konoha Kitten. She actually has a page on Facebook called Mystic Shadow Wolf. I think it would be worth it to check it out. I'm not gonna tell you what it's about because I don't want to spoil the surprise, but yeah.
Hamburgers. It's about hamburgers.
Konoha Kitten is
So yeah, that's pretty much it. I also thought about Slextram, but right now I don't remember her page. If someone
It's literally
help me
just
with that.
Slextrim, isn't it?
Yeah,
But she
I
doesn't have
guess.
any. She doesn't have any more YouTube videos anymore, does she?
Can we end this podcast, please? I have to pee.
I'm just waiting. I'm like,
Okay, everyone,
Let me do the
goodbye.
advertising.
Goodbye. The podcast is over now.
I'm James S
Say your
Cassidy.
goodbye.
Shadow Wolf here.
And I am Brandon.
VTamer Taichi.
Saying
See you later.
Good
Good night. and good luck.
Sayonara.
Strong,